Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a juicy video on why being wealthy is not a selfish thing. The inspiration for this video actually came from my daughter, who is 11, and she came home from school one day to tell me about a school project they were doing in class. The project was around finding 3 words that you hope describe you when you are an adult. The words she chose, if I remember correctly, was number 1, for sure, wealthy. And then I believe the other 2 were independent and successful. They had to share their words with the class, and as soon as she said the word wealthy, one of the other little girls in class bursted out, "That's selfish." To which my daughter responded, "No, it's not," and then went on with her list completely unbothered. But she did come home and tell me about what happened. And then her and I had a conversation about all the reasons why being wealthy isn't actually selfish. And it got me thinking, kids are not the only people who think that, who have that opinion on the wealthy or becoming wealthy or people who are wealthy. Because in fact, that little girl that said that was not her own idea. She learned that from an adult. She either heard her parents say it, or a family friend say it, or a teacher say it. Some adult in her life has put that belief in her mind. Most beliefs or programming or thoughts or whatever you want to call it come from your childhood and some adult influence. Because when you're little kids, you don't know how to life, but your parents do. And so you learn from them and you trust them. You trust what they say. They say drink water because it's good for you and it helps you stay hydrated and you need it to live. So you do, and it's true. And you're like, wow, they know everything. And so when you are little kids, you are like a sponge and you adopt all of these beliefs and ways of thinking from the adult influence around you, which means at some point in this little girl's life, the belief of being wealthy is selfish was brought onto her. It was not something she just thought of herself. And if I'm being 100% honest, I used to have a very similar belief. When I was very young and very poor, I was very jealous of those who had money, and I was frustrated that I didn't have money, and I just wished they would just give it to me. Just, you have more than enough, give me some. I was very bitter towards those who were wealthy. And I also believed for them to be and remain wealthy, they must be selfish. And honestly, that thought, that belief, I think repelled me from becoming successful and having a good amount of money, because there was so much resistance there around money. I was telling myself that money was a bad thing. I was telling my subconscious that money was a bad thing. So therefore, my belief system was like, oh, money, bad thing. Okay, good. We don't want that then. We don't want that. We don't want that. And I genuinely think, at least in an energetic sense, I was blocking myself from becoming wealthy. Now, I've done a lot of growth. I've done a lot of personal development. I was also a licensed financial advisor for a while, and I worked with a lot of wealthy people. And I have come to know for sure that being wealthy does not make you selfish. It is not a selfish thing. And in fact, in a lot of cases, it's quite selfless to become wealthy. So I'm going to be sharing a few top reasons why I believe this way. And hopefully, if anything, it helps you shift your mindset so that way you yourself have a better relationship with money and wealth and abundance, if that is something that you sometimes struggle with. It's also good if you are a parent or you have young children in your life to make sure that you aren't accidentally pushing some maybe not so great money beliefs onto them that will not be very helpful for them in life. There is a difference between causing a lot of scarcity and lack and fear around money versus being more responsible or realistic. Before I dive into it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would mean the absolute world to me. I am loving watching my community grow, and each and every one of you mean so much to me. So first off, what we need to understand is money is not good or bad. It just is. It is just neutral. It is just a tool. A good person will do good things with money. A bad person will probably do bad things with money. It is a tool. It is a resource. It amplifies who that person already is. Money is a tool, just as a knife or shovel is a tool. If you were a good person, you can use a shovel and dig a garden to grow beautiful vegetables for your family to eat. Or if you're a bad person, you could hit somebody over the head with a shovel. Is it the shovel's fault? No, the shovel is just a tool. It's all about what you do with it. Just like a knife, you can use it to cut up those vegetables and create a beautiful meal for your family, or you could stab someone. It's not the knife's fault, it's the person. So once you understand money as this very neutral tool, it makes all the other mindset work around money a lot easier. So first, let's talk about all the ways personally that money could help you. Being wealthy is a good thing when you are a good person. It automatically means you can buy more reliable cars, you can spend money on healthier food, you can send your kids to better schools, you can live in safer neighborhoods, you can buy better quality clothes. You can do things that is good for your soul, such as traveling if that's your passion, or eating at fine dining establishments. And now you might be thinking, Zoe, those are in fact selfish things, but are they? Sending your kids to a better school? That doesn't seem selfish to me. Buying reliable cars for your family, that seems more of like a safety thing to me than selfish. And even things like vacations or dining out or things that light up your soul that may seem selfish, if that is what it takes to re-energize you so that way you are your best self for everyone else in your life, that seems like a good thing, because you being burnt out and cranky and being mean to people because you're burnt out and cranky is not a good thing. But if you're able to refresh and recharge in a way that works for you, you can be a better mom, you can be a better wife, you can be a better teacher, you can be a better friend, you can be a better coworker because you took care of yourself. And that benefits everybody around you. You can also help support others when you are wealthy, like supporting small businesses, going to farmers markets and paying $12 for a bottle of honey versus $6 at the grocery store. And the reason you can afford to pay double and support the small business owner is because you have an abundance of money, because you are wealthy, and therefore you can give back. You can help other people's small businesses. You can help support things you believe in, and money never has to be the reason that you say no to something. Another very obvious way why being wealthy is not selfish is because the more money you have, the more money you can donate. You can give money to charities, whatever charities you believe in, whoever you want to support. If you only have enough, if you are not wealthy and you only have enough for you, that is more selfish, because you are using all of your money for you and not giving back to anyone else because you can't. So you have no choice but to be selfish. But if you have an abundance, if you have an overflow, if you are a wealthy individual, you have more than enough for yourself, you can afford to give back. You can afford to be selfless. You don't have to be selfish because you have more than enough, so you can give back to communities and organizations and people who need it the most. Now, you could be saying, yeah, well, only if you are a good, loving, caring person, and there's lots of wealthy people who want all the money from themselves, and they wouldn't give to charity. They wouldn't donate their money. Well, I bet you for the tax break, they sure would. Now, is that as noble as just choosing to donate because you can? No. But I will say, even in that case, at least the money still goes to the charity. It still goes to the cause. Even if the only reason that they are donating is for a tax break, the money still goes to people and organizations that need it the most. I genuinely believe that the more money I have, the more money I make, the better off the world is. And that is a powerful mindset shift that I had to make that took me from being dirt poor and homeless to where I am now, where I can afford a nice home and a nice car and nice things and nice vacations, and I can support my family and I can support small businesses and I can donate, and I never have to stress or worry. But I did not get there when I was in the mindset of being wealthy is selfish. I wouldn't allow myself to become wealthy because I thought it was selfish, and I did not view myself as a selfish person. But as soon as I took the power or the charge away from money and viewed it as a neutral tool that can be used for good or bad, I decided I would make more money and use that money for good, therefore not selfish. Yes, there are a lot of bad people out there with money and they do bad things with that money, and that is very unfortunate. However, I feel like my channel does not attract bad people. I feel my channel attracts people just like you, people who are good-hearted people with good intentions. And if they came into abundance of money, they would do something good with that money. They would do something good with that wealth, both for themselves, like they should, because you deserve it, for their family, for their friends, and also for people who they might not have a close relationship with, such as small business owners and charities or organizations that could use the help. So that is what I have to say about that for now. If you want almost like a part 2 to this video, there is so much I can say about money and why it is good for good people to have it. So if you're interested, please let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to make another video on it, but I wanted to keep it nice and short and sweet for this video. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram at Zoe Carter Lux, and let me know your thoughts on this video. Leave them down in the comments below. I always respond to your comments, and I love reading the DMs that you send me on Instagram, and I always respond to those as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous rest of the day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.